please give my good friend. Run it back.
Zone out and like forget what you're doing, right? That happens to everyone, right?
Everything.
Yeah. You think a soldier's ever pulled a pin on a grenade and just been like, what's that doing? You think someone's ever been given CPR before and just kind of forgets? Why am I making out with this kid? It's kind of romantic though, into the pool. I don't know why people, zone out or why they forget. I do have a theory though. I like to imagine every time you forget something, someone with Alzheimer's remembers it. But the person with Alzheimer's, right, they remember the thing that you forgot. So it's this old person surrounded by his family. They're like, Grandpa, do you remember me? And he's like, I gotta take the trash out. I gotta turn the oven off, I left it on. Speaking of old people, my older sister is addicted to shopping, yeah? When I say that, some people like to say they're addicted to shopping, right? Some people like to say they do retail therapy. If you do retail therapy, my sister is doing retail chemo. But she can't live without it, so. No, she's seriously addicted. Like every day to her is Black Friday. She just actually had a black month. February came early. She is addicted. To be clear, she's addicted to buying clothes, right? For shopping clothes. That'd be weird if she was like addicted to shopping groceries, like grocery shopping. She just becomes the math lady, like in those problems. Like, you want how many watermelons? You heard me. 40 plus 2. No, it's a serious problem. Like, I'm joking about this, but it is an issue. If I'm being honest, I kind of wish he was addicted to drugs instead. Because it's easier to address, right? Because at least when you're addicted to drugs, every time you see them, they look worse. But because my sister's addicted to shopping, every time I see her, she looks better. I'm like, you're in crippling debt, but the fit's hard. This is crazy. It's nice. Keep on buying this shit. No, it's she is in debt. She told me this recently. She told me, Cooper, I maxed out all my credit cards. I'm in debt. I owe these people money. And she realized she made a mistake. She's like, I want to change my lifestyle. And I was like, absolutely, I support you. She's like, you support me? And then no joke, she went, can I borrow $10? It's like, do you want to be in Squid Game? Like, what? They're going to put you on an island in a tracksuit. She was like, what brand's the tracksuit? Like, that's not the point. This is just a brief little thought about it. I've been thinking about sporks, right? The mix between a spoon and a fork. I think it's an amazing invention, right? I'm trying to think about the next kind of mix of utensils. I think I got it, right? It's going to be a mix between chopsticks and spoons, all right? That's a pretty good idea, right? We can call it choons, which actually, now that I said that out loud, that does sound like a racial slur. That sounds like someone would tell me that if I went too far down myself, someone's like, choon. Sorry. The opposite, spoons and sticks, that one's already taken, so I can do that one. I'm 21. I feel like I'm pretty old. Anyone else 21 here? Yeah, makes me
Yeah.
Cool. I feel like I don't feel my age sometimes, right? I still feel pretty young. I feel like a kid. But there are some things in my life that I've noticed that do make me feel older. Like my nightmares are different now, right? Like when I was a kid, my nightmares were like monsters and zombies chasing me. Now it's like deadlines chasing me. It's like, it's due on Tuesday. I'm like, oh fuck, please. I miss when my nightmares were like things that I could wake up from. I was like, that could never happen. Now I can't be too sure. Like I had a nightmare recently that I just forgot to wipe. I like shit, and then I put my pants up, and I was like, oh, I forgot to stay. And listen, every time I shit, I wipe. I don't know why that sounds like I'm doing a testing. I'm like, Your Honor, every time I shit, I wipe. But I do. I woke up from that, and I was like, that could probably happen. She always set a reminder. All right, hey, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you guys so much.
Yo, how's it going, guys? My name is Vaishakh. I'm 19. I'm a grad student by credit. I know what you guys are all wondering. Gaslight, big key for girl boss. Proud to say, I'm all three. The first time somebody asked me that, I was really confused. I was like, did I miss a Harry Potter movie? I don't remember this question. But then I found out you could be all three, so gotta catch them all. Yeah, I'm brown, I'm a comedian. It's kind of weird sometimes, so I'll be like totally bombed at that last open mic, and people will leave the room like they just saw a fucking witch. I guess it's the brown and the bomb part. They don't go that well together. I'm a computer engineering student though, and I don't know if you've ever walked into an ECE lab, but it's just a bunch of brown guys working on these huge circuit boards. Very sus, if you ask me. I wouldn't trust any of them. Last month was November, colloquially known as No Nut November, and I'm glad to say I ate no peanuts the entire month of November. I did fall in love with macadamia nuts though, so I'm bringing back MMM, more macadamia made. If all goes well, I'll be in India next month, visiting some family. India's really cool, but like, there's like some weird stuff about it. Like, there are no exterminators in India. Like, it's some real humans and bugs live together in harmony type shit. I'll be like drinking my tea, and there'll be like ants in my tea, and I'll be like, Mom, there are ants in my tea, and she's like, don't worry about it. It's because there were ants in the sugar. I'm like, what the fuck? There are ants in the sugar. I'm like, my mom's like, it's protein. You're always talking about protein. I'm like, yeah, chicken breasts, not fucking bugs. But, yeah, I guess I was on that bug protein train before it started though, so. Yeah. Another weird thing about India, the street food is a little whack. Like, there's no being picky with Indian street food. Like, you go up to a vendor, you already have the food in your hand. There's no like, hold the tomatoes. There are tomatoes in that bitch. The vendor is like force feeding you that stuff, and like, you don't stop until you start vomiting right back into the pot next to the whole thing. Both my parents went to culinary school. They were chefs for a while. That's how they met. And it's really cool because I get to eat like really nice food at home, but it's kind of bad sometimes or annoying because they're kind of anal about some stuff. Like I was eating ribs the other day at a barbecue place, and I was really enjoying them actually. So I was like, yo, these ribs are great. And my mom's like, those are actually ribettes. And I'm like, fuck, I just misgendered my ribs. My favorite restaurant though is this restaurant called Portillo's. They got Chicago style food like hot dogs, Italian beef. My favorite thing at Portillo's though is the Portillo's cake shake. And if you guys don't know what a cake shake is, it's like a triple layered Portillo's chocolate cake that they mix with just drugs that they give out to random people. Last time I had a Portillo's cake shake, I was in high school. It was amazing, but I woke up like 3 days ago from food. Hashtag worth it. I would recommend it. Yeah, that's all for me. Up next is Nico Reason.
Very good. Hi, I'm Nico. Very nice to see all of you. I was talking to my therapist recently, and she was like, Nico, you have no self-esteem. And I was like, fuck, do I just pay you to roast me? And so I'm trying to do this thing where I'm like, I'm hot, I'm good. So I gave myself fake nails because I feel really sexy when I'm about to claw somebody's eyes out. Violence is very hot. And so I'm trying to do this thing where I hype myself up, and it's kind of hard to do because I grew up really ugly, and like, yeah, I'm I'm not sugarcoating it. It was not good. I was so ugly that I was asked out as a joke in both middle school and high school. Yeah, oof. Yeah. You're oofing. That was my life. Okay. And so now I'm kind of coming back from that because all of my high school and middle school bullies want this goth puss. All right? Thank you. Middle school bullies to goth puss is like moths to a flame. All right? Thank you, EJ, for that one. Just give a thumbs up. Thank you. And it's very funny because I get to just crush these men's souls. It is so rewarding because I just ghost them. It's great. Another thing I really like to do to boost my self-esteem is just lie to men. Sorry, men, I love to be mean to you. It's really fun. You make it so easy. So I love to go to bars and I love to just straight up lie to men. Men walk up to me and they go, "Hey, what's your name?" And I go, "Bethany." And I do it in that tone of voice too, so they know it's not my fucking name, right? And they go, "Oh, what do you do? Like, what's your major?" And I say, "I'm an internet hitman." And then they leave you the fuck alone. So that's my pro tip. Thank you for the snaps. Another thing that's really been boosting my self-esteem is I moved back in with my mom, and she takes very good care of me. I love my mom. We have a really good relationship. She's a lot like me, except for she's mentally stable. So that's fun. But she's had a few wild phases. She's like trying to get hip with the kids. So I'm trying to teach her lingo, but I use a lot of lingo that people don't normally use because I'm, so I say like things fuck when they're good. I'm like, "Oh, this fucks," right? So in reference to my mom, I say she fucks, like often, which obviously, she has 2 kids, she's fucked. So I go, "Oh yeah, my mom, she fucks, she's great." And so she's trying to use it, but she uses it entirely wrong. She looks at me at dinner and she goes, "Nico, I really fucked this chicken pot pie tonight, right?" And I go, "No, I don't think that's how you use it." No, but she's great. I'm actually going to leave you with a little bit of her wisdom. She says, there's a time and a place for everything. It's called college, and that includes all of the free drugs she did. All right? That's another piece of wisdom, all right? Is that you never have a cocaine problem if you don't spend money on cocaine. Thank you all very much. Next comedian is Aayush.
Hello everyone. Okay, first things first. All the single ladies in the audience, show of hands. Show of hands, come on. Okay, everyone who put their hands up has to give me their number after this show. See, this is what I've been reduced to, right? So hello everyone, I'm Aayush. I'm a brown man who during the first 2 weeks of college was looking for cute girls. 2 weeks after I was looking for girls. 2 weeks after that I was looking. And then a month after that I joined the comedy club, so EJ working is the sexiest thing I've seen this semester. Right? But I've tried everything, right? So one of my friends told me, "Dude, you should go to the bars, bro. Like, all the girls are at the bars." So I was like, okay. So I asked my roommate and then we decided to go to Harry's. And there's this one challenge that comes with being a brown man, which is back in India we're taught British English. And I know words from American English because I watch a lot of Paw Patrol. But what happens sometimes is the words from the American English get mixed up with the British English, right? So I don't know which one's which. So me and my roommate showed up to Harry's, and I was pre-gaming because I never expected to get into Harry's, right? Everything happens in the lines anyways. So we got there, and I got out of the car, and I still had the bottle with me, and I was like, what am I going to do with this? So I told my roommate, like, "Dude, can you open the boot and let me put the bottle in?" And this lad had no idea what the word boot means. And for all of you who don't know, it basically means the trunk of your car, right? And the closest word to boot he's probably heard is booty. So he was just like, "Open my what?" So at this point I could see all the pretty girls walking by and I was getting impatient. So I thought the best way to solve this problem is to use simple words. So I was just like, dude, just open your backside and let me put it in. Yeah, I mean, another friend of mine told me, like, dude, you should get on Tinder, dude. Like, all the girls are on Tinder. I was like, okay, so I got on Tinder, and things were pretty normal, and by normal I mean I wasn't getting any girls, but But I attended this one open mic that the club hosted a month ago, and all these comedians were taking shots at girls on Tinder, and I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. Until this one comedian came up on stage, and he was just like, all the comedians taking shots at girls on Tinder are probably doing that because they got rejected. And there was this one girl in the audience, and she was just like, yeah, you tell them, yeah. So first of all, her bio was probably aspiring MILF or here for a good time and not a long time. Second of all, fuck you, right? I perform comedy for this club every other Saturday. And every other Saturday that I'm not performing comedy, I'm hanging out with my 2 guy brown friends. And together we look so brown that we could get arrested for walking across campus with a backpack. Like, of course I got rejected. Fucking stupid opinion. But yeah, you know, like, at some point I was just like, you know, like, I should start giving out advice, like, I should start giving opinions. So now my new favorite thing is giving people, like, obvious mundane opinion or obvious mundane facts, right? So the other day I was going on the bus with my friend, and halfway through the journey we weren't talking anything, so I was just like, I should give him some facts. So I was just like, Rahul, did you know that carrying bombs on the bus is illegal? And he was just like, I'm not carrying bombs on the bus. Like, why would you say that? That's exactly what someone who's carrying bombs on the bus would say. So we were detained and then we were searched. And this fucker had the audacity to blame me for it, like it was my fault. So the next time we went on the bus, we sat separately. And I had to prove to him that the first time was his fault, right? So before the bus started, I stood up. I was just like, Rahul, just because you don't sit with me, doesn't make it legal to molest men. And Rahul was just like, I've never molested a single man in my life. You've never molested a single man in your life. That's oddly specific, no, Rahul? So this time he was detained, so whose fault was it? Anyways, I've given you all like a lot of crazy facts, so let me give you some good facts, right? Did you know that toilet paper is a very Western concept? So people in the East don't use toilet paper, they use water. So the first time I was on a plane, I went into the bathroom and I saw toilet paper. I was like, holy shit, they have arts and crafts for when you take a shit. So like they had the paper, they didn't have the crayons. But then I was just like, you know, like I'll just do some drawing. So I wanted to draw myself. And I needed like a brown crayon to draw myself. I knew I needed a brown crayon, but I didn't know what shade of brown I was. So I hit the assistance button and the air hostess came and she was outside the door. And she was just like, is everything okay, sir? I was just like, I can't find my brown crayon. And she's just like, are you sure this is not a medical emergency? I was like, no, I can't find my brown crayon. And she was just like, maybe you want to look in your pants? Yeah. Anyways, we sorted it out and like, you know, like we fell in love and she's actually here watching the show today. No, I'm just kidding, we met on Tinder. No, I'm kidding again, those are just my brown friends. Bro, put the backpack away. Alright, thank you guys, that was my set. But before I leave, I want all of you all to start clapping slowly and then gradually clap louder, okay? Alright, let's go. 1, 2, 3, start clapping. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the next comedian, Jacob Stout!
Event we've ever had. Give it up for yourselves for coming out. This is awesome. Anybody hear about this event on Instagram? Anybody? Woo! A couple people? Yeah, okay. I'm on Instagram a lot. One thing I see all the time is people trying to be Instagram activists. They'll talk about like save the trees or cancer awareness or free Hong Kong. I don't understand the Hong Kong one. So I don't know how they keep a gorilla that big locked up. Plus, he like climbed the Empire State Building and engaged the U.S. military. Maybe we shouldn't be freeing that. I went on a date last week. You're supposed to clap for that. Oh, you guys are too nice. And I keep it classy, so we went to Ford. We were having good conversation, but something was a little off. I wasn't sure what. Maybe she's an elementary ed major. I don't know. For example, I told her I'm a Presbyterian. She thought about it for a second, and her eyes went real wide. She looked at my plate. She goes, "Wait a second. Are those chicken tenders or fish sticks? I should have cut it off, but she ended up back at my house, and you know, things got a little spicy. I found out about this girl. She didn't understand the concept of a V card. It was like a metaphorical idea. She thought it was like a government-issued document that everybody got at birth. And so I guess she was confused as to why she didn't have one, because if you asked her about her V card, she'd tell you she lost hers when she was too young to remember. I just keep striking out with women, so I invested in a sex robot. You know the kind, like full height, fake skin, voice lines, toes. C3PO, that's her name. I was amazed by how realistic this thing was because I couldn't figure out how to turn it on either. And so again, just like real sex, I invited my buddy over and he turned that thing on way better than I ever could. I don't even have to have a girl to get emasculated in front of my girl. This is terrible. Oh man. I eat a lot of snack foods. In particular, I'm addicted to goldfish. And it wasn't too bad at first, but then I got caught eating goldfish in the store that I hadn't paid for yet. Turns out that's a great way to get kicked out of PetSmart. Speaking of crappy food, I like Taco Bell. Do we have any Taco Bell lovers in here? Do we have any Taco Bell haters in here? Yeah, okay. See, I always hear people complain, oh, I always get diarrhea when I go to Taco Bell. That doesn't make any sense to me. Just get a taco or a burrito like a regular person. Oh, man. I like cool cars. I think expensive cars are really cool. I drive a shitty Honda, though. It's probably a good thing, because I'd be a real menace if I could go any faster than 55. I like to browse car auction sites, though, and I like to look at the comments, because some of these comments are really weird, right? Some of these comments look like they'd be perfectly home under a Pornhub video. Like, oh wow, what a beautiful Italian. Wow, my whole family could fit inside that. That one's had some modifications. I like the build, not a fan of black. Don't be mad at me for that one, that's the commenters. I'll have you know I love black cars. I've been reading a lot of Batman comics lately, and I learned this about Batman. Bats are actually his greatest fear. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
That's crazy. That'd be like if my superhero name was Intimacy Man. No, but these Batman comics have been super inspiring to me, and like to go out in the world and make a difference. The only problem, though, is that I'm not super rich or super strong or super smart like Batman is. You know what I can do, though? Is I can kill the parents. Heard a couple of groans. Before you get mad at me on that one, let's think about this for a second. How many people do you think Batman has saved in his whole career? Any numbers, estimates, guesses?
12.
Like 1,000 people? Okay, let's say Batman saved 1,000 people in his career. That means I can kill 499 sets of parents, and as long as one of those kids turns into Batman, I've done the world a favor. I did that joke one time. Somebody got real mad at me in the audience. He went, "Fuck you, I'm an orphan." Yeah, you and 498 other guys. That's my time. Thank you, guys.
Oh, sorry. Thank you very much for coming. One more, give it up one more time for the video. So recently, I fell in love. Don't get too excited. I fell in love with Waffle House. I went for the first time recently. It's amazing. For those of you who haven't been, it's kind of like a small country with no rules. It's kind of like a stickier Vatican. Sort of, right? So like this is an establishment where you can order your eggs with a side of bacon, sausage, or violence. Like you can choose all three, like realistically. Like the first time I went, they didn't have any butter knives, it was just switchblades. It's like you had to stay on your toes. It was like the waffle projects, dude. It was not great, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. And so, as I was leaving, I picked up an application, just for fun. First question, you throw hands. First answer, no. I look like a short person that's been stretched out. Throwing hands is never option number one for me. So I'm more of a talk it out kind of guy. And and just, they didn't even ask for my name. There's just no foreplay. It was just like a pass or fail class. It was like, you throw hands, you're in. It's like, you're one of us now. And like names can be really tricky, man. So a name I've never understood is, why do they name Cracker Barrel after their target audience? It's like, you're selling unseasoned food and candles at the same time. It's like, we know who you're going for. It's like, there's no secret. We're just ethnic majority of the United States, just not quite fit on the sign. Let's try something shorter and more racially charged. I don't know. Another thing I just don't really understand is people showing up early to the grocery store. In high school, I worked morning shift. And so every morning, I would open up the doors to the line of people. Why? It's like, why are you at the grocery store early? There aren't new groceries dropping. It's been the same shit for 40 years. The last invention was the Capri Sun. That was the pack. That was the peak of it, and it's just been kind of downhill since. It's can I get just a show of hands who's waited in line for bread? Anyone? Yeah, all right, yeah, that checks out. This isn't the Soviet Union. You can just come back at noon. It's gonna be there. Just leave it. Something else I don't get, and a lot of my jokes, just looking back on the year, is just things I don't understand. This probably has something to do with me being a business major, but it's just kind of obsessive. One thing I don't understand is why do we just some phrases we use. One of them is time heals all wounds. The person who said that did not have a peanut allergy. There's no way. No one looks at someone in anaphylactic shock and is just you know what they need? A second to themselves. That's not what they need. Another one is laughter's the best medicine. It's no, it's not. It's an EpiPen. It's they need an EpiPen right now. And I don't know. And the last one is just a word I don't get. Is why do we use the word groomer for people who take care of dogs and advantage of children? Because it's I don't know. It's there has to be some kid out there who for some reason dreams of working at PetSmart. And so he Googles most famous groomers, just for some inspiration, you know? It's Michael Jackson? R. Kelly, what? I didn't know these guys had side hustles. It's weird. And it makes me think about where the overlap was. Because there's a middle part in every Venn diagram, right? And there's a chance it was a really creepy veterinarian, but I like to think it was a sex offender that when he's in the mood can give your poodle a sick fade. Anyway, that's my time. Thank you very much. Thank you. And next up, you know.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I see a lot of the planes from the Purdue flight majors fly overhead on campus. And every time I see them, I wonder, what does that curriculum actually look like, you know? Are there midterms just flying the plane? Hey, how'd the test go? I crashed and killed 43 people. So, hopefully with the curve, that's a C+. I can nail the takeoff part. Speaking of flying, when you're in line at the TSA, you can't say the word bomb, which is kind of weird. I think it's because it sets the TSA agents on edge, right? But that just makes it more inconvenient because you can't point out obvious threats hey, look, that guy over there has a bomb. The TSA agent will just be you're scaring me. Why don't you even tell me that? They don't even give me a gun. I just have a squirt gun that I brought from home. It doesn't even shoot water, it shoots Mott's Tots apple juice. What? So you can't say bomb. You also can't say God bless America, and I'll elaborate. Weird if I didn't. I was getting patted down in line by this guy, a TSA guy, not just a guy. It wasn't a random dude. It wasn't just are you TSA? It's I could be whatever you want me to be. I was a qualified TSA TSA agent, you know, with the neon blue uniform and high school degree, you know? So anyways, after he was done, you know, feeling me up like I was his prom date or some shit, I very sarcastically said, "God bless America," to which he like quickly responded, "What do you mean by that?" And I'm like, "Whoa, okay. All right, Steve Rogers, holy shit. It's not enough that you're checking my bag, you have to check my tone of voice too? Would you have preferred it if I said Allahu Akbar? Would that have helped you sleep at night? What if I said the most egregious shit possible? Like I walked with a metal detector, I'm just like, "Death to America!" You're just like, "Oh shit, right this way, sir." I'll upgrade you to first class. Do you want a hand job? I have feelings for you. One time, I got a text from someone that said, "Text me when you get home safe." What are you supposed to say if that actually goes south? Like, no, I did not get home safe. I've been kidnapped and now I'm being sex trafficked in Bolivia. So. Could you come pick me up, please? No, I feel like if you're like gay, black, or a woman, then that text applies to you, right? Not to me. No one's on the prowl for a 6'1" man who looks vaguely Sicilian. No president's just like, "Is that Michael Corleone from The Godfather? Popcorn candy." It's like, no one has fucking said that ever. One time, my mom texted me, "Text me when you get home safe." To which I responded, "Too late, already got in a car crash." You know how you're sometimes just like, what's the worst possible thing I could say right now? You're just like at a BLM protest and you're like, "You know what I think of them?" Kind of like that. You guys don't say that? All right. No, so my mom quickly responded like, "You don't have a car, idiot. How could you possibly get into a car crash?" Kind of the tone where it's just like, "Yeah, fuck me for caring about you, right? You lanky ass bastard." Like, honestly, if she was acting like I couldn't have seen the aftermath of a car crash, right? And go and like squeeze my way in between the two cars, like, hell yeah, man. Make it look like I caused it, you know what I'm saying? All right, that's my time. You guys are great. Avery!
How's everyone's dead week going? Yeah. I see I got a lot of engineering majors in the crowd. My dead week isn't going all that great either. I was just up until 3 a.m., I guess this morning, working on a project alone in Walk in one of the classrooms, using up enough of the whiteboard to the fact to where if anyone walked by, they would think that I had gone insane. But no, that's just computer science. But I can't really talk too much shit about that because it's mostly my fault that I'm in that situation because I'm a really bad procrastinator. It's a problem. Like here's how it is. So I'll sit down at my desk, ready to do my work. I'll pull out my computer, ready to do my work. I will open up the computer and pull up the homework assignment that I am supposed to do, ready to do my work. And then I'll think to myself, wait a minute. I could be doing literally anything else right now. And then I do literally anything else. It's bad. But one of the things that I've noticed that I've started doing instead of my work is I've just been sitting there thinking. Like I'll just sit there, bright space pulled up on my computer, looking at all the zeros, and I'm just thinking about whatever shit pops into my head. One thing that I was thinking about lately was a big problem that's really emerged in our society. A few decades ago, it wasn't that big of an issue, but over the past few years, it's become more and more of a problem. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that today, and that issue is tipping. Yeah, tipping at restaurants. Yeah, I know. Not what you were thinking, right? Well, in the early 1900s, tipping used to be a relatively simple concept. You would go to a restaurant, you would sit down. All right, here is my food. Oh boy, gee golly, that guy did a wonderful job of giving me my food. I'm going to give him $1 as a sign of my respect. All right, time to go do old-timey things, like enjoying indoor smoking and not letting women vote. But now it's evolved. The concept of tipping has evolved so much to where it's now thought of as like rude if you don't. Sorry, I had to speak there for a second. But it's now considered rude if you really don't tip. And me, being the most conflict avoidant person on the entire planet, it has become a requirement for me, in my mind, to tip whenever I'm at a restaurant. Like, here's how it is. I'm pretty sure that, like, if I'm at a restaurant and the waiter just, instead of giving my food, just walked up, punched me into the face, said, "Fuck you," and then gave me the bill, I'm pretty sure I'd still tip 15%. Maybe 20, because he seems like he's having a really bad day. But it's bad. But a really strange thing that I've noticed lately is that restaurants are also thinking the same thing. They're also thinking that I have to tip. So I was at a place a few weeks ago, and like the mature 20-year-old adult, oh boy. Shit. We're getting there. Hey! Thank you to the tech guy that we don't have. But anyways, like I was saying, so I was at a restaurant a few weeks ago, and like the mature 20-year-old adult that I am, I ordered mashed potatoes. So I got my meal, I ate it, it was delicious mashed potatoes. So bland, so boring. But I got the check, and I saw it. How the fuck is it $20 for mashed potatoes? Like, seriously, all you do to get mashed potatoes, you take a potato, and you just beat the shit out of it and put it on a plate. Can't be more than $10. So I look at the receipt, and I'm like, okay, there's my potatoes, there it is, oh, $10, I was right on. Then where's the other $10 come from? So I keep looking, and I'm like, oh, tax, oh boy, that's a lot more than I thought it was. But then I look at the bottom of the receipt, and I see a 25% tip already added to the bill. You know, the really weird part about that is that right below it, there was another line that was labeled additional tip. As if they felt I would be inclined to give them more money, in addition to the money that they had already taken from me, against my permission. Yes, I know. Without my permission, you know, like theft. Another good word that I've thought of for that is it's called taxes. Like at this point, if restaurants are just going to start doing that, they may as well just call it a restaurant tax and just drop any pretext whatsoever. But oddly enough, I don't remember having any representation in the restaurant when they created that tax, so I don't really know how I feel about that. I haven't told my friends Thomas and Samuel about that yet, but I'm sure when I do, they are going to have a riot. I know exactly what Thomas is going to say. This is what he's going to say. Avery, that restaurant, they need to get some common sense. But the restaurant I actually went to, it was a British pub. So I see that they learned one thing from their history. And on that bombshell, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon! I'm so happy to be seeing you all this evening. So, Christmas is coming up, it's the gift-giving season, and people are always going up to me and they're saying, EJ, you have supple childbearing hips. What should I buy for my mom? And you know, it gets my gears going because I gotta think, well, what do other complete babes just like me want for this Christmas? I'm thinking, we want swimsuits, we want leggings, but we can't show off our beach bods if we're all covered in hair. So that's why you need to get them a razor. So I'm gonna give y'all a review of one of these razors that I tried out myself, all right? So I need y'all to pay attention. I need y'all to pay it. All right? We all leaning in. This is story time. The Balls Body Hair Razor is the biggest waste of money I have ever had the displeasure of using. All right, thing one. It's called Balls. What the fuck is your marketing department, a 6th grade classroom? Secondly, I pull it out of the packaging. It's not shaped like balls, it's shaped like a cock. I have been misled twice already. I am pissed. So this razor, it advertises 4 major points, all right? It advertises that it's powerful. It advertises that it's quiet. It advertises that it's cordless, and that it has sack-safe technology. Let's go through each of these points. All right. So this thing is about as powerful as office tape and takes off hair just as well. All right, I go for a little bit on my wrist. It doesn't even get a clean shave there. It's entirely tragic. And you may be thinking, well, EJ, are you using shaving cream, you big dingus? No! Because it advertises that I don't need shaving cream. So what the fuck, dude? Secondly, it advertises that it's quiet. And you know what? I'll give it that. It's pretty quiet. If you're deaf, I'm using this thing in my public dorm showers, right? At 1 a.m. like a civilized individual. I turn this thing on. It's louder than the shower. It's louder than the music. It's louder than the dude taking an aggressive shit at 1 a.m. It's so loud this dude is striking up a conversation with me. Hey, dude, you got a date tomorrow? The only benefit is that it's drowning out the noise of the crime scene happening in that stall. Thirdly, this so-called sack-safe technology, it promises no cuts, no butts, no coconuts. And what do I get? I'd be better off shaving with a goddamn cheese grater. It turned my shit into an arts and crafts snowflake. It was horrible. So atrocious. So if you're following, it's only cordless. And on top of this, it costs $70. I paid $70 for blood loss and casual conversation. Like, imagine if you're going to a sandwich shop, you order the BLT, you know, bread, bacon, lettuce, tomato. You buy it, they punch you in the nose, cut your balls, take $70 and hand you 2 pieces of white bread. And so I'm trying to return this so they can scam some other bastard. And they gave me the return address, and it's all the way in England. England! I'm surprised it's not called bollocks. And so to do return shipping, I need to go to the West Lafayette post office, which might as well be purgatory. There is no strong emotions from that place. It's where happy people go to die. So I obtained the international shipping forum. This fucking intricate, convoluted piece of paper, more intricate and convoluted than a Lord of the Rings Mad Lib. And I take this 9x9 Rubik's Cube turned legal document, and if I fuck up a single word, then I'm not gonna be able to get my refund. So I get it all figured out. I go up to the dude, and you know what he tells me? You know what the cheapest international shipping is? $65. I have made a return investment of $5 for blood loss, time loss, and not very much hair loss. So yeah, all in all, just like go with Manscaped or Gillette or something. They might be better than balls, but it isn't that hard to be better than balls. That's all I got for you this evening. For the dance king himself, Mr. Randall Kane!
Hello, everyone.
$11 for a burger. It's supposed to be a burger for kings. You want me to pay $11 for a burger? What in the world? Where are you getting this lettuce from? It makes it $11. Must be a rich tomato. Hey, you know, a burger with nothing on it at Five Guys is $7. I didn't realize Five Guys was a 5-star restaurant. Hey, listen to this. At Burger King, they got a burger called the Impossible Burger. What's so impossible about it? It's pretty possible to me. Is it a non-Euclidean burger? Hey, how much does that burger cost? I don't know either. I can't stand these earphones. You ever talk to someone with an earphone? You ever sit down with someone and say hello? I say, oh, hello. And I say, how are you? And he says, oh, I need to get the groceries. I ask him, what are you talking about? He said, oh, I'm sorry. He's talking with his ear. Hey, here's an idea. Why don't you talk with your mouth? With me. Let me tell you what sucks. Let me tell you what sucks about growing up. Everyone's getting strung out on drugs. It's an endemic. There's this new drug on the market. Everyone's taking it. It's called the COVID vaccine. I hear it's giving people heart problems. Yeah, they're saying the heart problems are coming from post-pandemic stress disorder. Post-pandemic? I thought we were still in one. Stress? Post-pandemic stress? I didn't realize stress made your heart inflate and stop working. Last time I trust the science. Yeah. What's with these masks for anyway? What are they for? Hey. Tell the guys at Push, here's my new policy, say it, don't spray it. Yeah, we don't need masks anymore, just say it, don't spray it. Alright, I'll just say it. I don't like McDonald's fries. I don't like them, they're gross.
Improv is just, we are doing scenes on stage, comedy scenes that you've never seen before, They've never been done before and they'll never be seen again. You're going to be giving us suggestions, and we will be giving you the time of your lives in return. It's completely free, and you're going to love it. The first game that we are going to play is a two-person game called Calvin Ball. Calvin Hobbs, are you familiar with that comic? Yeah. They're going to be doing the scene, and I'm going to be making some minor changes to the scene so that, it's different than what you would expect it to be. So for this scene, can I get a suggestion from anywhere in the audience of a non-familial relationship?
Cousins.
Therapist. Teacher.
Okay. Okay, you guys, the non-familiar relationship that's been suggested to you is teacher and lawyer. Take that as you will.
Hey, Jimmy. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I'm your lawyer. As you being a teacher, I'm your lawyer.
Yeah. I'm your teacher.
Right. This is a really interesting relationship.
Right. It is a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
But does Mark really like it?
I love it. I actually love it so much. I love that you're my lawyer and that I'm your teacher. Isn't it really fun? It's kind of a fun little game we have. Yeah.
Mark's being indicted for murder.
Sit down, Mark.
I just didn't like the looks of them. I just didn't like the looks of them.
They're children. You are a school teacher. Look, I'm gonna defend you to the best of my ability.
They made fun of my pepperoni nipples. What am I
I know it's hard. Having pepperoni nipples.
Adric can sympathize with this pepperoni nipples.
I know it's hard. In many ways.
They always are. They always are. That's what people don't understand about them. It's not just the middle thing, it's the whole thing that gets hard.
But you can't take it out on the children.
I was having a bad day. They hit a sensitive spot. I just wasn't a fan. The sensitive spot. They made fun of me. And that's yeah.
All right. Is there any way we can claim self-defense? Rabid children.
See, this is why I pay you a lot of money. This is why I pay you a lot of money. Yes, we could.
Very good at my job.
There you go. Because you gotta, there's, they might have been attacking, not
Right.
in a physical sense, but they were attacking in a verbal sense.
And obviously there was some physical ism, something.
Exactly. Yes. You know what? I think that's a good idea. You know what I'm going to tell them? I'm going to go into the classroom and I'm going to point at them and I'm going to say, "You're not going to make fun of me anymore." I think that's a good plan.
Resolve this in a court of law.
Well, yeah. That too, but I think honestly attacking it head on would be a good way to go.
No, Mark's actually afraid of confronting children.
Maybe that won't be a good idea. maybe we don't do that one. Let's
I
just
thought
try
you were onto something.
You think so?
Yeah.
He doesn't really think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You're a good guy. You know that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna do, right?
Well, again,
Yeah.
it's a child.
Yeah. But they make fun of
We don't really want to you're being indicted for murder.
I know.
We don't want to add to that. We can't have the judge finding out about your pepperoni.
I know.
Either.
They called me Meat Circle. What am I
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Yeah.
Glad to see you all. I got some pretty good news this week. My mom is officially cancer-free. Thank you. I keep telling her, like, Mom, you never had cancer. You got to stop telling everybody that. You're essentially bragging at this point. Yeah, I recently got rejected from a job offer. I applied to be a security guard and got rejected. Which is probably good because, like, how can I be a security guard if I'm insecure about myself? Yeah, okay. Something about my dad. My dad is a beekeeper. Guess he was born in the 1700s. Yeah, he's got lots of bees. And he's like, hey, Charlie, you want to know a fun fact? Did you know that when bees ejaculate, their dicks explode? I'm like, how do you know that? Anyway, we had Thanksgiving, you know, and went over there. Actually got in a big fight, got ugly. Got really mad at him. I stormed out of the house. I went out to his beehive and I jerked off as many bees as I could. Some of them were faking it, I could tell. So, hey, I couldn't help but notice that your dick didn't explode. Yeah, I've been having a long day. Yeah. I'll just say it. I love thick women. Yeah, love curvy women. My girlfriend, she's got curves in her back. She's got scoliosis. I'm like, why does every conversation have to be political with you? Like, I get it, you're left-leaning, always. Guess I have a type for bent out of shape women. Her parents are here, actually. They're gonna have some questions. Somebody wake them up. But yeah. Let me check my tiny piece of paper. Semester's worth of material on this paper. Cancer, sewing, beekeeper, farting. All right. I just want to know, when I was in elementary school, why the teacher always had to know who farted. Like, you're in class and somebody farts and the teacher's just like, all right, whoever it was, just say excuse me. I'll wait. I farted in class one time. I did it to make a stand. I farted. Girl to my left scooted away, said, ew. Girl on my right scooted closer to me, like, Told the teacher, why do I have to say excuse me if I really meant it? Yeah, all right. Cancer, security guard, beekeeping, farting, scoliosis. I don't go to bars a lot. You know, the first time I went to a bar, I had a bad experience with the bouncer. He asked me for 2 forms of ID, and that confused me. I was like, no, it's just me. Why do I need 2 forms of ID if I'm just one person? If you don't like what you see on the first ID, you're only going to be disappointed by the second one. What do you think you are, anyway? 17th century French philosopher René Descartes? Here's a form of ID for you. I think, therefore I am. Now let me into the goddamn bar. He said, well, I think you're not coming in, therefore, go the fuck home. No idea he was so educated in philosophy. But I had a friend one time, he ordered a fake ID, but it didn't come in until he was already 21. I told him when the bouncer asked for 2 IDs, he should give him the real one and the fake one. How do they tell that the ID is fake anyway? I have a theory. I think it's the height and the weight on the ID. Like, they look at your driver's license, they're like, 165. I'm gonna need you to step on a scale over here. Looking a little heavy. No, so I like start taking my clothes off. Can't take off my shoes because I'm not 5'10" either. All right, thank you guys. That's all I've got. Appreciate you. Love you guys. Up next, we got Will R.
Howdy, everyone. Thanks. Who likes the holidays? Yeah. No one? That's cool. No, that's alright. Wasn't fast enough. I like the holidays. Is anyone excited to go home for break? Yeah. Alright, that's enough. So I went home for Thanksgiving break, and while I was home, I was setting up the nativity scene with my mother. You know, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, the three wise guys, whatever. And as I was doing this, my weed fell out of my pocket. That's always an awkward situation, especially around the holidays. So I looked down at the three wise men, and I was like, Mom, it's myrrh. And she was like, myrrh? Why would you say myrrh? She didn't believe it. I thought about it, and I was like, out of all the things the three wise men brought, right? Like, it's good, but it's not gold, right? And what the fuck is frankincense? Like, that's just a long, shitty word, right? Like, why would you get a baby a word he can't say? That's like getting a Parkinson's patient operation and only one set of batteries. For real though, I think we should just take that middle syllable out of frankincense. It should just be frank sense. You know, we all get it. Smells like Frank. Out of all three though, myrrh sounds the most like marijuana, right? Like, it sounds like the third wise man actually brought Jesus weed, but forgot Mary and Joseph were gonna be there. Like the first wise man was like, my king, accept this gold. And then Frank was like, get away, you know? And then the third wise man was like, yo, Jesus, dude, I brought you a bag of myrrh. Yeah, that's what I brought. Shit! Tries to pull Jesus aside. He's like, yo, Jesus, are they cool? Without sin? A virgin? Then how did God? I'm always getting caught doing stuff though. I'll tell you guys a story about a time I got caught. When I was a sophomore in high school, I had a bed pissing problem. Wasn't a punchline, thank you. So I would piss the bed, and in the morning I would just put my dog on it and blame him, right? Because he kept his mouth shut most of the time. But I kept doing this, and my mom got worried for the dog, right? And she wanted to take him to the vet, and you know, I'm a shitty guy, so I let her. So the next day, we get to the vet. Vet checks out my dog. They flick his nuts, whatever they do. They take him in the back, and then they just put him down. Right? Which is really fucked up, right? Like, I don't remember that sequel to Air Bud. What the fuck? Like, I remember Air Bud 7th inning fetch. I remember Air Bud golden receiver. I don't remember Air Bud framed and wrongfully executed. It seems like a dark twist on the franchise, if I'm being honest. I didn't know this, but when dogs are put down, they release their bowels. So when that happened, I saw it as my moment. I was like, don't worry, that was me. Paying it forward. On the way out, all I could think about was I should have blamed my sister's cat. Not because I don't like cats, but one cat's cheaper than 9 dogs. For real though, they gave us the dog in a box. It was really like strange. And we get home and it was just like a super dark like day around my house, you know? Like, my mom was crying, my dad was crying, my sisters were crying, but I was more nervous than sad, really. Like, you know what I looked like? I looked like a Parkinson's patient playing operation. Just the whole time. But they actually bought it, which was like really surprising to me, right? Like, I'm not a really good actor, but they bought it, just not for very long. Like, the next morning I woke up and I saw that I pissed the bed again. Shit, right? So now I'm freaking out, right? Like, my dog's dead. I'm not gonna rope my sisters into this because I saw what happened to the last guy. And my mom's home in 30 minutes. I'm fucked. No time to wash the sheets. There's nothing. So I sit down and I'm like, think. So I grab a shovel and I hit the backyard. I'll finish on this last one. I was talking to my friend the other day. He told me he was worried that his girlfriend's pussy was getting looser. I was like, that's like a really weird like fear, right? Like everyone knows that pussy is like old Levi's, right? Like they never really stretch, but if you wear them enough, they form fit. Another dick joke. I think it's weird that Trojan's called America's #1 condom, right? Like, who would choose to use America's #2 condom? Then I thought about it, and I was like, okay, the cartel. Gay dudes would probably use #2 condoms. If I were to take like a test, I would probably use a #2 condom, right? You know, the 3 S's, right? Smuggling, sodomy, Scantron. That's actually all I have for you guys tonight. This next guy shares a lot of stuff with me, including my first name. We do not share underwear. What he does is called stealing.
I'm not actually dancing, I just have to poop really bad. There we go. How are y'all doing?
Yeah.
I'm not doing good, man. I don't feel like I belong anymore. I haven't even graduated. They got a younger, more attractive Will to replace me. Just not doing good, man. My mental health is in shambles. Got a little voice in my head recently. He just tells me horrible things. I've named him Melvin. Melvin said to me last night, they should stop putting elevators in buildings. They should replace the stairs with ramps. No, Melvin, that's a bad idea. Melvin told me, have you ever seen a quadriplegic? They're like couch cushions. You could make a couch out of them. No, Melvin, don't do that. Melvin told me, if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had a micro penis and he had a penis transplant with a little person, would the little person be well hung? Because, like, proportionally, a micro penis on Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is large on a... I don't actually have a mental illness, I'm just a terrible person. Did y'all hear that Tucker Carlson said that COVID feminizes you? Like, how does that work? Like, you catch COVID... Oh, I have tits now. It's like... I thought it was the vaccine that was feminizing me, dude. It's just like, all these things that Joe Biden is doing are supposed to feminize me, and yet I still can't express my emotions healthily. Speaking of Joe Biden, man, is that guy okay? Can someone check up on him? Like, I know he's the president. They probably check up on him every 5 minutes, but he's like 102, that's not frequent enough intervals. Like, this man could stub his toe and get a hernia. It is kind of remarkable how fragile that man is. Have you ever seen him at a town hall? Like, you know, old people, their prostates, it's kind of worn out, just like most of these comics. So it don't work too good. And if he's standing up for a long time, you know, he starts doing this at town halls. And he just does the whole event like this. And like he waddles off stage, thank you, Jack. And then he just like unclenches and it all falls out. Yeah, just like Joe Biden, Democrats shit the bed. The Republicans aren't doing much better either, though. Like, back on Tucker Carlson, have you ever noticed that conservatives have this weird obsession with masculinity, right? Like, Joe Rogan is talking about how, oh, I can't be a man no more, or like Alex Jones is saying they're putting chemicals in the water that turn the frogs gay, or like Ben Shapiro goes to fucking Home Depot and buys this beautiful piece of poplar. Men don't do construction crafts anymore. It's like, you can't satisfy your wife, Ben. Why are you buying poplar? Why did you buy a plank of poplar and put it in a plastic bag? You can hold the wood. Just hold it. Don't kill a seagull in the process. And all of these, the point I'm making with all this, all these guys, they're not masculine, right? Like, look at Trump. Trump isn't like a big manly man. He's like, I don't know. I don't think I want Diet Coke tonight. I think I'll take the champagne. Rum and Coke. Cosmopolitan, that's what I'll have. If you wanted like a big manly man to like appeal to all the Republicans, you know who you should get? You should get The Rock. Except that wouldn't work because he has a micro penis. Been reading Batman comics lately, just like Jake. Fuck you, by the way. For going first. Interesting thing about Batman comics is if you read the ones from the 50s, right, they have all this ancient lingo that's died out decades ago. And my favorite one that I discovered is that apparently in the 50s, the word boner meant fuck up. So you'd be, and I didn't realize this, so you'd be reading it, and then you'd see the Joker just like, you know, sitting in his lair being anti-Semitic or whatever he does. It's like, with this new plan, I'll make the Batman have the biggest boner of the century. And he goes and like commits a hate crime or something, and Batman shows up, and he's like, ha ha ha, Batman, I killed a small child, this is your fault. And Batman's like, no. He's an edgy bitch or whatever. And then the newspaper says, like, Batman commits the biggest boner of all time. And then, you know, you cut to the Batman in his lair, it's like, I'll show the Joker a boner. I'll show the Joker the biggest boner in the... This goes on. It's like 60 pages. I like boners. You ever considered that like boner is the funniest word? Like, let's go down the funny words. Cunt? No. Fuck? Shit? Titty? Okay, that's pretty funny. But boner? Boner's like the perfect mix of like 6-year-old and like high school senior. And a 95-year-old who shouldn't be allowed at Thanksgiving. Just a great word. You should all use it in your lives more. And if there's one piece of advice I can give all of you, you should go home to your families this Christmas and just say, boner. I don't know what that means. I don't have a good way to end my set, so that's a good way to end my set. Thanks, y'all. Oh, shit.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you all here, even though it's a lie because these lights are so fucking bright I can't see any of you. You guys want to hear what I'm mad about? Because I'm like a straight white dude, but I still gotta be mad about something, so let me be mad at how people judge me, right? I get judged for a lot of things, and it's not fair. The biggest thing that people judge me on is that because I'm an engineer, I'm studying engineering, right? And the biggest thing that they assume, incorrectly, is that I'm intelligent. I can assure you that's not true, all right? If I'm an engineer, I'm the one that has to do anything, right? Because I'm smart. So we had a futon. We bought a futon my sophomore year. And my roommates were a cybersecurity major and an animation major. So I, the engineer, was the one who was tasked with putting it together, right? Because there's all of one latch that you have to put up to put the back up. And that is why we bought a futon, but we had a bed in our dorm. So I said, okay, maybe I'm dumb by engineering standards, but you know what? I can prove this. So time goes on, it's the holiday season. My cousin, 6-year-old cousin, he gets a Lego set, right? And he's like, can you do it with me? I'm like, ah. I can do this. I can put a Lego set together. I'm in engineering. And that's what caused the tragic bridge collapse of Lego City in 2020. 63 fatalities, it was terrible. So I said, maybe I am dumb by all people's standards, you know? Maybe. Yeah, no, I don't get it. I mean, does this look like intelligence to you? Like, I don't know. My friend told me one time, he's studying neuroscience, right? He wants to be a brain surgeon. He's like, I could never do what you do. And I'm like, Cameron, if you can't do what I do, you have a fucking problem, all right? If I fuck up at my job, someone has to fix a part that I made in SolidWorks. If you fuck up at your job, someone's gonna wake up from a brain tumor, and they're gonna think they live in a pineapple under the sea, okay? We're not talking about the same thing here. Yeah, no, the other thing is I'm in a fraternity, all right? People give me a lot of different judgments because of that. You know, they also judge you based on the fraternity that you're in. You know, no matter what, you can have like 99 amazing guys, but then you're not the fraternity that goes out and feeds the homeless every weekend. You're not the fraternity that raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for cancer. Because of Isaiah, you're the fraternity that pees in the bushes at Harry's. He's right there. Yeah, no, people also think that I can drink a lot because I'm in a fraternity, and I mean, I get it, but also, your preconceived notions about what a fraternity person is versus this. Not gonna change the fact that I'm clinically underweight, all right? A stiff breeze is gonna fly me all the way back to Florida. That's not changing, okay? I was at a party one time, and this girl, right, her name was Svetlana Udalova, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck. So she poured me this drink. I'm like, hey, take it down a little bit, right? She's like, okay. All right, so I'm getting about to drink. And my friend goes, oh, some kind of frat, bro. You are, Kenny. I'm like, fuck. So this girl, of course, pours like 6 lineages of her family into this cup. I'm like, I got this. I'm gonna show these people. So I drank it, and I took it down. I'm like, all right, fine. And you know what? I proved it to myself this time, because I was absolutely fine when I woke up 2 days later at IU Arnett. Yeah, no, people judge me because I'm in engineering. People judge me because I'm in a fraternity. People in this club even judge me, all right? They've been having a good time, think that everything's fine and dandy behind the set, you know. Cooper comes out, and everything's fine and happy, but it's not. All right? I get discriminated against here, all right? I get discriminated against because I'm a man, all right? There was a comic here, all right? We get accusations that we have too many guys, all right? I don't know, 2 out of 15 seems like a good ratio to me, all right? You could be in computer engineering, all right? Be grateful. Someone in this club, all right? I'm not gonna name them, but they know their name is Sarah, all right? They said one time, all the guys in this club want to do is come up and talk about their dicks, all right? There is nothing funny about penises. And I just know that's not true, all right? I have evidence to support that that's not true. Multiple people, women at that, have seen my penis and laughed hysterically. The ignorant things that people say. Yeah, no, I get judged really unfairly for all the things that like don't make like a difference. Like I'm in a frat, I'm in engineering, whatever. But then the stuff that you could actually discriminate against me for, people get right all the time. I was walking down the street, right, one time in downtown Lafayette, and I saw this guy, right? You kind of imagine what he looked, right? Like tall, really long, white beard. Had a shirt on, said, "Let's go Brandon," right? I'm like, oh God, right? Because I was talking on the phone with my grandfather, right? I'm half Cuban, so I'm my grandfather. I'm like, sí, abuelo, necesito ir, okay, bye, all right? And I see a look on his eyes, and I'm like, oh God, how's this gonna go? And he says, you Hispanic? I go, yeah. And he goes, where are you from? And I said, I'm Cuban. And he goes, oh. In 1946, they had a functioning democracy under Carlos Mena, didn't they? I'm like, how the fuck did you know that? Could have delivered that one a lot better. I'll end on this because I have enough time. I want to leave you with some wisdom, all right? In 1963, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, he said that he had a dream that one day the sons of former slaves and former slave owners could sit together at the table of brotherhood, and that his 4 children could grow up in a world where they would be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I also had a dream. I had a dream that me, SpongeBob, and Yoko Ono defended Mars from an invasion of Norwegian sex robots. The moral of this story is that Dr. Martin Luther King was not on Prozac. Good night, everybody.
Cameraman Charlie wrote this set tonight. See, he actually wrote 2 sets tonight, but he was only allowed to perform 1. So before the show started, he came up to me and said, "Hey, you're a woman. Your opinions don't matter. Please do this set instead." So I will be doing his set instead.
doing Charlie's set here. Women trying to make as much as men, am I right? Yet they still expect me to open doors for them. Some women, am I right? What a set, man. That was hysterical. Wage gap wouldn't be a problem if women just stopped working. Break 4 laughs. Ha ha. I'm so funny. Ha ha. Women shouldn't work. They're only good for 3 C's. Cooking, children. Okay, Charlie, I can't say that. Fine, you insist. Okay, I will. Women are only good for the 3 C's. Cooking, children, and cleaning. Okay, Charlie, that's offensive, man. Speaking of moms, Cooper's mom. Right, guys? Cooper's mom is so fat. How fat is she? With the hand motion, too. Cooper's mom is so fat, people thought she was the McDonald's. Cooper's mom is so fat, when she goes sumo wrestling, they have to expand the ring just to fit around her finger. Cooper's mom is so fat, even I'm attracted to her. Okay. Filter some of these jokes, okay? Yeah, I can't say that. Sorry, man. You gotta work more on writing your set. This has gotta be a first draft, man. Yeah, you're right, he does do that. But I don't think it's like because he's Asian. Purdue Standup comedy. Yeah, in fact, I went over their heads. I went all the way to the president. Yeah, that's right. I went to Mitch the Daddy Daniels. You know what he said? He said, that sounds like a lawsuit. So now legally, they have to let you perform. Yeah. Yeah, legally, in fact, they have to laugh at your jokes. Even if they're as bad as their own. Yeah. You know what? I think the standards are set just too high for women. You know, you don't have to be as hysterical as me. That's outrageous. I want to see women come up here and completely bomb. There's been enough guys doing it. It's about time. I want to see a woman come up here and have a conversation with a female Yeah. Also, why is it that anytime we talk about condoms, we assume they're male condoms? Man, it's so sexist, right? Yeah, honestly, I'm involved in quite a lot of male-dominated activities, actually. For instance, I'm involved in aerospace engineering, jazz band, being admitted to Purdue. But one profession where I think having a greater number of women would really make a positive social impact is serial killing. Yeah, I feel like female serial killers really serve a niche in the fight for equality. Male serial killers generally target young women. Female serial killers are much more open-minded about who they kill. Like, they kill with much less regard for race, gender, and whether or not they've had the chance to rape them yet. Female and male serial killers also tend to have very different motives. Whereas male serial killers tend to kill because they're attracted to the woman, and because that logic just makes sense. Female serial killers tend to have much broader range of motives, like money. And if that's difficult for you to remember that men kill for lust and women kill for money, just remember it's the same as marriage. Taking the life out of someone, marriage, same. Female serial killers are also much more likely to get to know their victims, and I think that's just better customer service. As an inspiring female serial killer myself, I feel very inspired by the greats like Amelia Dyer, Hillary Clinton, Cooper Kim. But you know who I also find inspiration from is Kamala Harris. One of the greats, man, one of the greats. But yeah, I think it's nice that we finally have a female vice president. But you know, I think America could do a lot better. That's why I plan to be America's first female dictator. In fact, there's never been a female dictator in the entire world, which I'm sure is a coincidence. Yeah. So that would make me the first female dictator in the world. Sorry, did I say in the world? I meant of the world. All hail Sarah! 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 Thanks, guys. Oh, you're so nice. You're gonna have to keep it up. Sorry, I totally forgot my jokes. Sorry, give me a second here. So I'm graduating here, in like a week. Degree in aerospace engineering. I tried so hard to fail on my exams, but it didn't work. Such a bummer. But yeah, did I say aerospace engineering? Yeah, I clarified that. So I just, I feel like there's so much I'm gonna miss about Purdue, like the sludge coming out of the Hawkins showers, toilets continuously flushing, waiting up at 11:58 for my paper to load. Just like the thrill, Quarter ply toilet paper. Yeah, so I'm really gonna miss this place, But I've collected quite a few secrets over the years about Purdue that you kind of only learn if you've been around for so many years. And I just wanted to share them with you because I don't think they should be limited to seniors. So, moon landing was fake. Yes, and in fact, Purdue has a class about how to fake the moon landing. But the problem is it only comes every 28 days. Nothing to do with the moon, it just syncs up with the professor's period perfectly. Planes are just giant birds grown in a lab. Birds fly using magic. There isn't actually any aerodynamics involved, and the School of Aerodynamics and Astronautics is actually a satellite school for Hogwarts. Avada Kedavra. That still doesn't work. Sorry, I'm practicing. If you walk underneath the bell tower, it's true. You won't graduate in 4 years. You'll actually graduate in 3.5. Yeah, and if you look up underneath the bell tower, you find this map to where all the tuition goes. It's great. And it takes it off every Halloween show. You can actually tell because the zipper in the back. Yeah. Actually, I'm a man. It's kind of the biggest secret of the whole club. One day, I just thought it would be funny, and Cooper thought the idea of a woman doing stand-up was so ridiculous. Stuck with it. Also, Cooper is a female banana. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think you all should take advantage of your time here at Purdue. Go walk underneath the bell tower. Go make out with your sister. Ask Mitch Daniels why he didn't show up to any of your soccer games. All the women out there, go palm an entire audience. And kill everyone.